My name is Monique Hansen, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees, and my pronouns are she, her. In response to COVID 19, we at 2U are doing our part in slowing the spread of coronavirus, and we're continuing to meet virtually on Zoom. You will notice there's a chat feed available for you to interact with, and you're welcome to say hello to one another and share your joys and concerns when we reach that time in the service. When we would traditionally sing together and read things in unison, you're encouraged to do so as well, even though you're on mute. Our voices echo through the world, so we might just hear one another if we listen closely and sing with our full spirit. As things continue to change, we will be paying close attention to the recommendations of public health officials and respond as quickly as possible. At this time, we recognize physical distancing as an act of love and protection. We especially welcome newcomers this morning. During this time of pandemic, finding a new community and making new connections can be challenging. Please know that we're excited you're here and look forward to getting to know you. If you're new to us today, you're welcome to note that in the chat. Following services today, children will participate in rehearsal for the June Children's Service. Our worship today is led by music director Amanda Thomas, Reverend Jason Lyden, along with worship associate John Hauk. Our chalice lighter is Jobson. Our music is provided by many today, including the 2U Choir, Carol Kennedy, Tyler Dustin, Chauncey Brandon, Judy Corbet, Atina Danner, Barb Michael, George Cedarquist, Ben and Julia, Myra Epping, Jim Rudlick, Jim Simonis, and John Hauk. Our tech team are Amanda Thompson, Harris McKee, Christy Grant, and Tyler Dustin. I have a couple of announcements for you this morning. Are you interested in our Lifespan Faith Development Program? Are you curious about how best to educate our congregation from the youngest through to the eldest about spiritual life, Unitarian Universalism, racial justice, and more? The Lifespan Faith Development Committee is planning a retreat on Saturday, June 19th from noon to about 2 p.m. This will be a time for reflecting on the vision and the possibilities for our children through adult programming. If you're interested in attending, please contact Alicia Obando, our Director of Faith Development. After service today, we'll be having our annual budget town hall. This is a time to review the budget for the coming fiscal year, ask questions, and discuss our specific needs and vision for the future. This budget has been created and recommended by the Finance Committee, approved by the Board of Directors or Board of Trustees, and is being recommended for adoption at our annual meeting on June 6th. You can find more information and additional announcements in your order of service. I now welcome John Hauk to lead our call to worship.
We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a community of children, youth, and adults, a people of many beliefs and traditions, bound not by the specific list of things we believe, but the values we share. Whether you are joining us for the first time or for the 1,000th time, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God some of the time, all of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. Whatever your race, whomever you love, whichever way you move in the world, however much money is in your pocket, you are welcome here. I invite you, as you are ready, to take a breath in and out. As the music begins, let us enter into our service together.
Low below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Thank you, Tyler. As I said, I get to see you right here, too. In just a moment, Jobson will light our chalice, the symbol of our faith. And we light our chalice this morning with these words from Marnie Singer. The chalice is the container, the space where the musician and the listeners gather. The oil is the fuel. The hours of practice and the life experiences of everyone in the room, Zoom or otherwise. The wick is the instruments and vocal cords through which music will flow. And the flame is the music which is created as if by magic. When the instruments are lifted, the breath inhaled, and the downbeat is nodded. May this flame ignite the music within us all. Jobson, would you light our chalice, please? For our opening hymn, as you will see throughout the service, and Amanda, I'm sure we'll talk about this, that we're going to share a little bit about why these hymns are important to us. And this one you might recognize differently as hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land, but we've sung it differently here at least a couple of times. And this is one of my most favorite hymns in our hymnal. And yet it's complicated. The words within it have been reinterpreted from the prophets Isaiah and Amos in the First Testament of the Bible. And Barbara Zancotti reimagined those words and helped create these lyrics. And they are beautiful and they are complicated when we think about land and whose land and who gets to build land and build upon land. And for Unitarian Universalists in the United States, particularly with our religious ancestry of white colonizers, it's really complicated to talk about building a land when there were already people here. And so one of the ways that people have been reinterpreting this is there's so much beauty here, but instead of building a land, how are we building a faith? A faith that binds up the broken, a faith where righteousness flows, a faith where we are caring for each other. And so you'll notice there's some changes in the language. There's been some removing of gendered language. I also decided when I wanted to reinterpret this to remove the word God, not because God isn't a word and idea that can be important to so many of us as Unitarian Universalists, but also because I think this song can exist too without that word. And so there's been some changes from the ancient text to the revised text to what it is now. And so I invite you to join me in singing hymn number 121, We'll Build a Faith. We'll build a faith where we bind up the broken. We'll build a faith where the captive captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build an open faith that can be. Come build a faith where all of our siblings, anointed with love, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a faith where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a faith where peace is born. Come build a faith where all of our siblings, anointed with love, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come build a faith where the mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once weak, where like oaks of righteousness stand our people. Oh, come build the faith, my people we seek. Come build a faith where all of our siblings, anointed with love, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
Please join me in reciting our covenant. The words will be on your screen. We covenant to build a community that challenges us to grow and empowers us to honor the truth within ourselves. We will be generous with our gifts and honest in our communication, holding faithful to a love that embraces both diversity and conflict. Called by our living tradition, we will nurture spirituality within a vision of the eternal, living out our inner convictions through struggles for justice and acts of compassion.
Hi, my name is Chauncey. Please join us in singing our congregational hymn, Spirit of Life. The words should be on your screen. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Each year, we all make a commitment, a pledge to support the ministry of this, our church. In addition to that contribution, each Sunday we take a collection so that we can share with those doing justice beyond our walls. While we are not able to all come together in person right now, you can still share of your resources. To make your contribution in a moment, you will see a phone number on your screen and you can send some texts and follow prompts. We, excuse me, for the month of May, we are sharing our plate with the Interfaith Community for Detained Immigrants. We've heard quite a bit about their work already this month, and this morning we will hear some words from Colin McCormick.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Colin McCormick. Again, I work with the Interfaith Community for Detained Immigrants. I'm a program director of 2 programs there, the ICDI Hotline and Chicago Immigrant Transit Assistance, or CITA. And so both programs actually serve asylum seekers that are recently released from ICE detention or recently arrived to Chicago coming from the border after being processed. My colleague Sarah, who you also graciously had in your presence the last few weeks, probably talked a little bit more about the different types of folks that we serve. But if you don't know an asylum seeker, think of a refugee. Similar legal status once received, but you can think of also fleeing due to fear of persecution. And so I just wanted to share a few things. The first is, who are we? What do we do? So in my program, again, CITA, we're based in the Chicago Greyhound bus station in downtown. And we are greeting asylum seekers coming from the border. So they've probably been released about 48 hours previously. Almost all of them are in Chicago just for a layover and to change buses, but a small minority stay in the Illinois, Chicagoland area. So in April 2021 alone, we greeted at least 178 asylum seekers. That was 4 volunteers and myself. I'm very fortunate that more volunteers are coming back with increased access to vaccination and people being fully vaccinated. So what is the thing to know about the Greyhound bus station? So we really are just providing basic emergency provisions to asylum seekers like food, snacks, water, toiletry kits, anything to help alleviate the discomforts and the needs of the journey while they still go another few hours, maybe another day or 2 days further on the bus. And what I realized is no matter who we're serving, although the majority are Central American asylum seekers, actually we have the best connections with those that we can't even understand, not even with Google Translate. And that's because I've realized that at the core of it, when you have nothing left and you're just at the mercy of kindness of volunteers in the bus station, that's pure humanity. So there's no language that we can use even to feel and build the trust between the volunteers and the people we're serving. And the last thing I wanted to say was, what is the most important lesson that I've learned since doing this? I started out, as a volunteer over 2 years ago, working my way up to program director. We weren't even part of ICDI when we first started. And it's that very early on, I realized that asylum seekers really doesn't mean anything. I was blown away when I started seeing my own mother and father in the mothers and the fathers that I'm meeting of the families. Like, I was thinking there is nothing different than my parents would do to fight tooth and nail for survival, for safety, and to survive, to provide for their children than the mothers and the fathers that we're meeting. I'm very young. At the time when I started, I was 21, and I had a horrible epiphany realizing, like, how is it that two 21-year-olds, one myself, an American DePaul University college student at that time, volunteering at the Greyhound, and the other 21-year-old from a horribly upside down parallel universe is a stranger to this country, dehumanized upon their arrival, and absolutely starving and thirsty. And how do these two 21-year-olds cross paths in this world? Again, I say the only thing we have left at that point is humanity. So thank you so much for hearing me out this morning, and listening to the words of my other ICDI colleagues that have came. And thank you so much again for contributing and hearing what we do.
I invite you, wherever it is that you are, to join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation. Let's begin by breathing together. Try to relax the muscles in your neck. Relax the muscles in your shoulders. Release any tension in your jaw. Find presence in your body, your beautiful, sacred body. We begin in thanks. Thankful for the breath in our lungs, the beauty of this earth, and the strength of our community. We hold in our hearts those who care for family in ill health, those who live with grief or chronic pain, those struggling with addiction or illness seen and unseen. We are with you. For parents and teachers and all those whose primary spiritual practice is the care of children, we are with you. Pray for our neighbors in prison, for those who are struggling to stay afloat in the midst of poverty. We are with you. We pray for all those living in harm's way. Pray for our planet and commit to work that will lead us away from the harms of climate chaos. We pray that wisdom, compassion, and empathy guide the leaders of our world. May they and we be instruments of a just and lasting peace. Our lives are blessed by those who knowingly, with curiosity and courage, face their final days. For all those struggling with fear and anxiety right now, we offer our prayers of comfort and care. For those who have faced the loss of a job, still seeking work, those losing financial resources and security right now, we offer solidarity and a commitment to share what we can. For those continuing to struggle with the impact of isolation, we promise to reach out with love. And this morning, we so too also hold those on those buses, the Greyhound buses, the many buses of migrants, asylum seekers, going from place to place, seeking refuge and comfort and safety. We hold them with love. We hold them in our hearts. And we commit to creating a more just and equitable society that does not force migration. Into this shared silence of ours across space, I invite you to speak the name of anyone you wish to lift up into the loving support of our community. with our deepest compassion. Let us hold in our hearts those named and unnamed, those remembered and those forgotten. Let it be so. Blessed be, and amen. At this time, I would light 2 candles. One representing the joys and celebrations that we're experiencing right now, and another representing the concerns and sorrows we're also going through. As the music plays, I invite you to share your joys and concerns in our chat window. We hold all of these, our shared joys, sorrows, concerns, and celebrations close to our hearts. Amanda is going to share our first reading.
Good morning. I'm Amanda Thomas, your music director here at Second Unitarian Church of Chicago. I have really loved my time as music director here at 2U and have come to know and love so many congregants. During this time of virtual church and COVID, I had an epiphany. I really love choir directing live and in person. And I also love helping choirs and congregations to sound better. That's my gift. Therefore, I have resigned from my position as music director here and will pursue another path of UU musicianship. This is really a great move for me, and I'm leaving you in the beautiful and capable hands of Carl Kennedy. This is one of the kindest congregations I've ever experienced, and I really appreciate the love you've given me. Our reading for this morning, Psalm 23, For This Moment by Kevin Tarsa. May I remember in this tender moment that love is my guide, always. shepherding me toward ways of openness and compassion. I have what I need, really, with love at my side, above me, below me, in front of me, behind me, inside every cell of me. Love infused everywhere, just when the weight of the world I inhabit threatens to drop me in the place and press my hope down into the ground beneath me. Love invites me to rest for a gentle while and leads the center of my soul to the quiet, still, restoring waters nearby that somehow I had not noticed. And so love quietly sets me once again on its tender and demanding path, even when the walls close around me and the cries of death echo through untold corners, gripping my heart with fear and sadness. I know that all will be well, that I will be well. When love whispers near to me, glints at the corner of my eye, rests with gentle and persistent invitation upon my shoulders, yes, love blesses me. Even as the source and symbols of my pain look on and blesses me from its infinite well. And I turn and notice that goodness, kindness, and grace follow me everywhere, everywhere I go. I live in a house of love, love that will not let me go. I live in a house of love, and I always will. Please enjoy our anthem from our choir and Carl Kennedy and myself.
Allowance, invitation, and acceptance, understanding. will put love into this space, and I will be love inside this place, and I will bring love. I will bring love into this place, and I will put love into this space, and I will be love inside this place, and I will bring love. I will bring love into this place. I will put love into this space, and I will be love inside this place, and I will bring love. Bring love. I will put love into this place. I will put love into this place. I will be inside this place, and I will bring love. I will bring love into this place, and I will put love into this space, and I will be love inside this place, and I will bring love. And I will bring love into this place, and I will put love into this space, and I will be love inside this space, and I will bring love.
That was really good. Thanks, everybody. So before the hymn sing, which is what today is about, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. In our UU communities, we all come together from different paths to worship. What I love most about Unitarian Universalism is that each person brings a unique and important part of themselves. Some folks prefer meditation to prayer, and then, of course, there are some folks who prefer Lord or God, and some who don't. And some folks balk at that without taking into consideration that those words may be of comfort to someone else. As a music director, it's a really daunting task to try to feed every person's soul during worship. Some song lyrics are taken very literally, some are trivialized, and some people refuse to sing certain songs as a matter of principle. Our hymn singing can bring us together, and we as humans react to hymns from our own lived experiences. Our theme for this month is story, and today you will hear from 6 choir members who will talk about and lead hymns that mean something to them. I really want to highlight our second hymn this morning, number 151, I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free. It was written by Billy Taylor in 1963 as an upbeat, big band jazz instrumental that would really get your toes tapping. That instrumental version was also used in the opening credits of a popular British television show in the 1960s. Later, during the civil rights movement, Nina Simone made it popular as a song of protest. The same song, but 2 contrasting feelings by Judy Corbet and Atina Danner. Again, 2 different paths result in 2 very different attitudes about the same song. Neither is wrong, just different. Our first hymn this morning is Comfort Me by Mimi Bornstein. I checked in with her this week because we're friends and colleagues. I checked in with her this week to see if she would allow me to use her story of how she came to write this beautiful hymn. She was very gracious and said this. I was in the mountains of Northern California at a house of friends with no electricity and no running water, but they had a white grand piano in the house. These folks were adoptive and foster parents of several children who came from drug-addicted or abusive homes. Mimi says, one morning when the energy was particularly intense and I was not feeling terribly generous of spirit, I sat down at the piano to help calm my spirit. The chord progression for Comfort Me fell into my fingers and the lyrics became my prayer. She says, the song helped move me into a more compassionate space within myself and eventually with those around me. She said, for years I sang the song and only for myself. I eventually shared it at a UU Musicians Conference, and the rest is history. She says it definitely was a gift to her and that she's so grateful and continues to be surprised that it's a gift to so many others. Now, I personally have used Comfort Me as a prayer in difficult times, like when my mom was dying, when my sister was in the hospital for 2 months with COVID. I sang this to their spirits. I sang it for my own spirit. I sang it and I sang it. My sister Angie is improving, just want you all to know, though she still has limited energy and is on 24-hour oxygen. She is definitely improving. She actually went outside and walked yesterday for like a block almost. This, Comfort Me, number 1002, is my favorite UU hymn because of the prayerful aspect and because the chord progression brings back memories of my mom, my grandparents, and our Church of God in Christ gospel roots. This hymn feels like home to me. Please join me in singing Comfort Me, number 1002. The words will not be on your screen, and just follow along. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me, oh my soul. Pray with me. Pray with me. Pray with me. Pray with
it's hard to pick one hymn because there's just so many that I love singing with everybody. But today I'm choosing I Wish I Knew How, number 151 in the Gray Hymnal. It was written by Billy Taylor and arranged by Mary Ellen Walden, who was the much beloved music director at 2U when I joined in the mid 1980s. The song is joyous, fun to sing, makes you want to move, is rather uplifting, and I think it's a good choice for us. I like the way it makes me feel, and I like the words of this song. So I hope you enjoy it as well, and can't wait for us to be back singing together.
I just want to speak briefly about this song. I appreciate what Judy had to say. For me, this song, if you're familiar with Maya Angelou's poem, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. For me, this is the song that the cage bird sings. And I appreciate that there's so many ways that this song shows up in the world. I think interpretation is how we connect with and build relationships with words. And I think that respect for the lineage of stories and songs is what prevents us from diluting their power. And so I think it's important that we bring our own story to the story of the song, but we always remember the story of where we started. And the song started very much in the feelings of a Black person about the way that they exist in this country and in this world. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I could say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart. Remove all the bonds that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you see and agree everyone should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things I should do. Though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. I wish I could fly like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. And I sing 'cause I know how it feels to be free. And I sing 'cause I know, yeah, I sing 'cause I know, 'cause I sing 'cause I know how it feels to be free. So happy to be back.
Thank you so much, Atina and Carl. I'm Barbara Michael. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Choir member Myra Epping says, I don't have any great swooping story about why I picked what I picked, but I can say this. This is a favorite sing in the shower song or sing alone in the car. I like the way the words fit with the music, the longing and heartache and hope. When I feel helpless and hopeless about the world, singing this song helps me. There is one other Finlandia hymn in our hymnal, and we often sing that one, We Would Be One. And it's a great hymn, but I always wonder when we sing it, why we aren't singing this one, because it's so much better, according to the Myra Epping Secret, Personal, and Private Assessment Scale for rating hymns. Please join Myra and Jim in singing This Is My Song.
Thank you so much, Jim, Myra, and Carl. I'm George Cedarquist.
Benjamin Cedarquist. Julia Cedarquist.
My religious upbringing was in the Episcopal Church and the Church of England, and my musical upbringing as well. What I can say about the Church of England is that it has a fantastic hymnal called Hymns Ancient and Modern. Songs that are inspiring to sing both their text and their music. Our song that we want you to sing with us today is definitely not from Hymns Ancient and Modern. This hymn is music by Patrick Rickey, who you might know from the hymn, We Are a Gentle, Angry People, and the text is by Bruce Findlow. Two things that always inspire my faith and our faith as a family is, of course, the text of a hymn and its music. The text of this hymn, specifically verse 3, which asks us to give thanks for all the challenging things in our lives, always makes me think hard. The music has lots of what I call crunchy chords, wonderful dissonances that we can all enjoy. And at the end of each verse of this hymn, Patrick Rickey has a single bar just of chords, which I think invite us to reflect in the middle of singing on what we are saying.
Please join us in singing For All That Is Our Life, number 128.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. Can we get the hymn up? For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come in praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, through the pain and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come in praise and thanks, and make our own days glad. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Hi, this is I'm Jim Salonis, and I'm going to sing a song from the Red Songbook. Those of us who are old enough to have been around to you in the last millennium also remember that the Reverend Mary Ellen Walden created this songbook for us, and she turned us into the singing congregation that we still are today. The song that I would like to do for you this morning is This World Is All My Home. It's a takeoff on This World Is Not My Home, which was written by Albert E. Brumley. What she does is she takes this gospel song, but she turns the message of the gospel song, This World Is Not My Home, inside out into This World Is All My Home. This world is all my home while I am living here. Its treasures are all around, so simple and so near. This life is beckoning me through every open door, and I feel right at home in this world more and more. Oh, friends, you know that life's for me and you. The world is all my home, no matter what I do. It's beckoning to me through every open door, and I feel right at home in this world more and more. The air around my head, the sidewalk at my feet, the barking of a dog that's running through the street. It's all a part of me and what I'm living for, and I feel right at home in this world more and more. Oh, friends, you know that life's for me and you. The world is all my home, It's beckoning to me from every open door. And I feel right at home in this world more and more. I have some loving friends who offer me a hand, and I have a million neighbors all across the land. My family builds the church from shore to different shore, and I feel right at home in this world more and more. Oh, friends, you know, that's life for me and you. The world is all my home, no matter what I do. It's beckoning to me through every open door, and I feel right at home in this world more and more.
Thank you, Jim. And it's so wonderful to hear your voice again. Another Jim, Jim Redlick, says, this next hymn has sort of a doleful sound and its words describe a pretty grim world. The verse could easily end with, how can I keep from weeping instead of singing? But that's what makes it a great hymn. Our spirit shamelessly sings in the face of tyrants and cannot help but rejoice in the fight for freedom. It sounds an echo in my soul. Please join Jim and Myra in singing My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
My life flows on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars, I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to this rock I'm clinging. Since love prevails on heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the sound of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep
for the opportunity to share a hymn with you. I didn't realize at the outset that it also was written by Albert E. Brumley, but Mary Ellen maybe didn't take the opportunity to adapt this one. It has special meaning for me since it was my grandfather's favorite hymn, and when I'd visit him, we used to lay in bed and sing it together before we fell asleep. He liked it for its energetic, joyful tone and fun layering of voices. I was really happy to be able to sing it recently, celebrating John Sturmer's amazing life here. As a Unitarian raised in a fundamentalist tradition, some of the ideas expressed in this hymn jibe a little and don't feel completely comfortable anymore. But at John's memorial service, I made peace with that by figuring out that, well, flying is often listed as the best superpower to contemplate having. So, with my own sense of family and nostalgia, I invite you to sing out with me and consider that flying our way toward bigger questions in a world we have made better is an adventure and a good way to live our values. Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away when the shadows of this life have grown. I'll fly away like a bird from prison bars has flown. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Thank you, Jim. I have positive memories of singing There's a River Flowing in My Soul right here in our sanctuary with members and friends of 2U, led by our amazing choir director, music director, Amanda Thomas. My perceptions of it can be both heart-wrenching and joyous. One summer, I taught it to some UU kids at Peace Camp in the Northwoods, alluding to the nourishing blood flowing like a river through our hearts and minds, giving us physical strength as well as spiritual strength, trying to bring about balance in our lives. And this past week, I was thinking about people across the Atlantic and the Mediterranean, some of whom I got to know in 2011 when traveling with concerned UUs for justice in the Middle East. It was a life-changing experience. Understanding the plight of the Palestinians in Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, people desperately yearning for basic freedoms, including freedom of movement, like being able to have a family picnic at the Jordan River, and freedom of daily access to clean waters. My mind then takes me to the people of Flint, Michigan, in need of clean water still, and others, particularly indigenous peoples of the Dakotas, now friends of the Palestinians and the diaspora, who continue to fight against the Keystone XL pipeline that could pollute their life-sustaining waters. Let us sing with heart and soul and mind, awakening us to hear the cries of the oppressed and telling them they are somebody of inherent worth and dignity, deserving compassion and equity, signifying the affirmation, I am somebody, you are somebody. Please join Amanda in singing, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul, in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart, in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my
Wherever it is that you are, I invite you to rest one hand upon your heart and lift one up above you. Let us shower Amanda Thomas with gratitude, with love and care and appreciation, with love and care and appreciation, with a knowing that we have been transformed by you and your ministry here, by knowing that we are a better people by knowing you, that we seek fullness, knowing that you continue your journey, we continue our journey, creating an equitable, welcoming, affirming, just, anti-racist,
Unitarian Universalism that celebrates the fullness of everybody, that recognizes the beauty that each and every one of us has. You have blessed us for years with words and music, teaching and time. So much unseen, so much seen, so much felt. We are transformed by you. Feel our love. Hear and feel our broken hearts. Heal yours. Follow your beautiful path. And let us all shower you with love, gratitude, and care. Let it be so. Go in peace, my friends.